Oh, there we go. Mic is on. Rightio, let us begin us. Lettuce. Now, what are we... The to-do list. Hello, to-do list. Okay, what are we gonna do? Today's to-do. Move, attack, tracing, component to items. Attack anims, physics simulation, projectile sim. Is that too long? I think it is too long. Well, we can do this. Tracing. Cool. Oh, actually, there's another thing on the to-do list. Whoa. All right. How would we? Gio, how's it going? Yellow, yellow. Just doing a little little refactor, just to make like the damage of weapon dealing damage from weapons easier and less kind of pigeonholed, which I think is gonna be pretty easy, because if we do it by name, they all have their own sockets, so that means that yeah, I think doing it by name rather than enum is probably a better. How would I set that up, though? I guess it's name and then find in socket name, and then assign that socket name to the array of thingos. Yeah, so then when we set up damage for an item, we just include the names of the sockets that the item component adds to. Oh no, but what decides the direction and radius and stuff? Well, that would be the weapon's static data. Well, no, actually, because the names are from the sockets themselves, so then the... Anyway, I'll have a look, and we'll see what we can do. Yeah, so we've got our melee trace radius in here, which I guess we just, yeah. Let's go for weapons. Are they going to be specific baked out items going to be generated from parts? Yeah, so they'll be generated from parts within, kind of like selections. So you can't get like a sword with a bow handle on it, you know. Which is already done to an extent. So like the axes and the maces are both the same like subclass of weapon, which is one-handed top heavy, but they have different different, I guess, components on them, or like weapon parts, and then the parts that they're made up of can have a skeleton override, which changes the socket layout for where we like trace and stuff. And so, God, poor fella. So yeah, you can see that like this mace and this, oh, that's another mace, but okay, this mace and this axe, same like shaft on them, but different head. And so all the damage is, you know. So we have a data asset for specific items, be like families. Yeah, yeah. So the there's a data asset for like longsword. So longsword static data. This, you know, says that it's a longsword, what its dimensions are in the inventory. Like this is what it is as like an item. And then yeah, what containers it can go in. Is it a container itself? Is it blah 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 blah. So all that kind of stuff is done per family, but then the parts of it, so these are like all different blade parts, these have their damage, you know, modifiers on them, and so they all get stored on the object, and so whenever we need to what's it called, whenever we need to know how much damage it's dealing from like where on the weapon we hit them with. So, you know, if I get this sword, actually, let me get a pokey one. Is that pointy? Yeah, so if I hit him with the blade of this one, it's a blunt sword, it's not going to do very much. But if I stab him with it and hit him with the tip of it, if he stops blocking me. Okay, well, no, he blocked. Son of a bitch. Okay, there we go. Fat damage. Yeah. So it just queries what are all the parts this weapon's made up of and gets the damage from them as it needs to. Then a single type of weapon with them in multiple ways of tracing. Yes, kind of. So for example, for like a polearm type weapon, we've got... So polearm is just going to be one weapon class, and that includes like spears and halberds and big hammers and that kind of stuff. So think like, you know, a big hammer type, or a halberd, you know, might have a point on the end, might have one on the back, whatever. There might be like a what's it called? Pole hammer type thing that has a spike on the end. There's always spikes on the end, and maybe it's got a spike on the back of it or whatever. Terrible drawing. And then maybe just like a spear that, you know, doesn't have anything there and whatever. So what we do for the head component part, whatever, would have a skeleton override. Keep in mind, all of these will have the same length, and then they'll just get scaled up and down, you know, as a whole unit, if they need to be shorter or whatever. But for this one, it would say we have our primary damage dealy parts here. We have a, you know, we could have a trace called top spike here. And we'd probably do that all here, because we know that this is like blunt along here. So we could say if this was swung and we hit them with this top spike, not this part, then this would only deal blunt damage. But if it was thrusted, well, actually, I guess if we missed it here. So that's why it might be nice to have names rather than enums, because then we can be a lot more thorough. And then for the back, we'd say back spike, blah, blah, blah. And if it is swung and it hits them in this direction, then it deals piercing damage. But if we thrust with the weapon this way, but we hit them with, you know, this part or this part, it's only going to deal blunt damage. So, yeah. And obviously, if we thrust at them and hit them with the shaft of it, it's going to deal no damage, because it's just like rubbing a piece of wood against someone. Isn't going to... They might get splinters, but that's about it. The only complex thing that I can think of that makes it a bit more complicated, and why I might want to use an enum instead, is if let's say there's a shaft that's made of wood or whatever, and then there's another one that's made of metal. We'd actually want the shaft to add to the impact damage multiplier of the head. But we might not know what all of the points are called for. So we'd have to do it for like every possible type on there, which makes me kind of want to do, unless we did it more like calculate the impact damage from, you know, the weight and that kind of stuff. But I don't know. That throws a spanner in it. So yeah, I guess the main thing that I can do right now is so at the moment we actually, like, in the attack animation itself, tell it whether it's a thrust or a sweep, which is fine for like a lot of it, but it kind of falls apart when we start to like physically simulate weapons or throw weapons or that kind of thing. So I think it'll be better to just what's it called? To actually do it based on the direction, like the direction of the trace relative to the position of the weapon. So like a dot product of what way, what the up vector of the socket is versus the up vector of the actor. No, the... No. Well, actually, that is one way we could do it. We could use the actual rotation of the points. Because we can rotate sockets. That's something that I realized at some point. So we could actually do it against the socket's direction, like up vector, versus the direction that the trace is moving. That way we wouldn't need to have different trace types for the top spike and the side spikes and that kind of thing. The only problem would be... I guess if we had something like, let's say we have like a pickaxe, right? It's like super heavy. And it's got these two, you know, very pointy bits. It's a very wide pickaxe. But let's say it has like this tiny spike on the top of it. We would want these to do, like, we want the point to do heaps of impact damage when it's swung, right? Or like when it's moving in the direction that it, you know, should be facing. But that then means that when we thrust with this little spike, it's going to be doing the same amount of damage as that. So it's probably going to use tags or something. I think if you want to try avoid having input loaded data. Yeah, exactly. Like, inputting the damage values is fine. But if it's then like... If I then need to input... you know, the socket name and the radius and all that kind of stuff. Then it becomes a bit of an ass pain. Which again isn't too bad. It's just how to... There's like a balance between, you know, one thing and another thing. Like having the complexity that we want, but then, you know, not having to manually do everything. Would a pickaxe be an axe or a polearm? It'd probably be a two-handed top-heavy weapon. So, like a battle axe or warhammer or, yeah, another thing like that. Is transform so you have location rotation. Yeah. Yeah, so that's what I'm gonna do. The only problem is differentiating between, you know, this spike and this spike. Which I think I can get around it if I just do the primary part, primary damage dealing part, so the blade of a sword or the, you know, the axe edge of a axe or halberd or whatever. And then we have one called top spike trace type, and then a side spike trace type. Because I think differentiating between a top spike and a side spike when swinging makes sense. and then maybe a butt spike, but that could also just be... Oh no, it'd probably be... We'd probably call it the butt trace. Because like for a pole arm, when you hit them with the butt, it might have a spike on it, it might be blunt, it might be whatever. So, yeah, I think just differentiating between top, bottom, and side spikes would be the way to go. But then also doing the dot product between the actors up vector and the direction that the socket is moving, rather than using the socket's orientation. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sold. So, luckily, I've done a big commit and push before this session. So now I'm free to break everything. The weapon part could contain the data about the trace type rather than the weapon type. Yes, but the weapon part... I guess the weapon part does if it uses a skeleton override. Then it kind of does know what sockets to expect, or what socket names to expect. Anyway, I guess first things first will be making this humanoid fella. Actually, do I have a stationary one? No, I could just remove his AI, couldn't I? Yeah, no, yeah, it does make sense. It makes very good sense. I mean, that's kind of how it works at the moment, but it's more like generic. Yeah, I just think... I reckon just adding an extra type for top spike, blah, 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 makes sense. And I might give them a, I might give the weapon parts an overall, damage booster thingo to like all... Well, no, that wouldn't make sense actually. Oh no, it would. Yeah, all right. I think we'll get on with it. So if we just go to attack trace component at the moment, when we do an attack trace cycle, we go through all of the trace array. So that has inside it Socket radius time. Yes, good. And that gets used to do it. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So, this... Well, I guess the first thing we need to do is actually just move this to the weapon. The trace component. Because at the moment it is on the character. And then when the character attacks, actually let me get debug traces on. When the character attacks, or like when the, you know, when it's active, where's the, oh, right. It's in here. When the character attacks, it, so it's the character doing the tracing at the moment. So there you can see, yeah, it worked. It's all good. Blah, blah, blah. But we want it to be the weapon that's doing the tracing, basically. It's the character doing the tracing using the weapon's sockets and the weapon's data and whatever. But we want it to be the weapon itself doing the tracing, because then if we throw the weapon, it can't be the character's trace component doing the tracing and stuff. It's like if we threw two things at once, how do we, like, blah, blah, blah. So the tracing logic should be on and owned by the weapon. And the character should activate it and blah, 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 blah. And then obviously we need one for the unarmed, like the character's unarmed attacks and whatever. That's kind of a different thing. Well, I mean, it's different, but it's not. But it is. But it's not. But it is. So... Right, so tracing mesh should always be owner. In this case. Get the owner of the component. Bam. No, get the... Ah, because it needs... Okay, okay. Hold on. Let's make a duplicate of this first. And then we... Why'd you change it? Do you mean like the colors of the stream and stuff? It was too bright before. It was too bright and it hurt my eyes to like look at it. So it's all a bit, it's dark mode now. So this will actually belong on items, which will be an item component, which will be item attack or item damage trace component, attack trace component. I don't know. Let's go here. Actually, where did I had projectiles and then projectile component. Well, we won't even need the... That'll only just be a projectile movement component. because it doesn't need to do the tracing anymore. It just needs to launch the projectile, and yeah, it'll just do hit exactly like the other one, except it needs to know whether to embed, bonk, or ricochet. True. So I guess the projectile trace component. Anyway. New folder. Item. Attack. Trace. Component. You will go in there. You will get copied there. We're going to rename you to item attack trace component. This will be the, what's it called? Highest class of it. The other thing is, that's old. Right, I need to reparent this. So reparent to item. Bam. Yes, reparent. Yes, I know. We don't need the tracing mesh. We don't need that. So I can ignore self. We don't... actually, we do need the living beam. Yes. Well, if it's being melee traced, so it doesn't hit the owner when it's tracing, which kind of makes sense. Yeah. Oh my god, more ads. I should just get YouTube, whatever the premium is. Alright. We don't need that. We don't need that or that or that. This one. We do need to set that. We do need to clear that. We don't need the attack type anymore because we're going to do that elsewhere. Probably don't even need that boolean, but I'm going to keep it anyway. Attack type. Bam. Wait, trace set doesn't matter. So we just want to say start fucking tracing. So the other thing that we're going to do with the weapons and stuff, let's say there's like a falling spear or a falling pickaxe that like fell off, you know, like traps and that kind of thing, or it got thrown and landed on a roof and then it rolled off the roof. It'll be physically simulated, but while it's physically simulated, well, it'll either be we keep tracing it while it's physically simulated, or we, on the hit event, because it'll be a physics object, on hit event, we do a single trace with like extended radius for all the points and whatever, and depending on which one overlaps with the, you know, the character or the object that it's doing whatever, we then know what type of damage to deal from it. So if a spear lands on someone's head tip first, then it might kill them, but if it lands on them sideways, then it won't do anything. Petra, how you doing? I'm fine today. How are the cute birds outside doing? It's good to hear that you are fine. The birds are all asleep because it's 10 o'clock. Also, Till, thank you very much for the water. The water. This can just be set all the time, because they're just bonk and butt. Now the trace array comes from... does an item... I did change this to item component, didn't I? Item actor. Why doesn't it get... It's item object. And I'm going to call it the owning item actor. Don't freeze on me, Unreal. What are you doing? Excuse me? Oh, lucky. Now the trace array gets done on begin play. Doesn't it? Yeah. Also, that can't get done on begin play. That'll get done on is equipped. Which means we'd have to bind to the on equipped, or sorry, the on is main weapon. Blah blah blah. Then we untick that. This then... Yeah, so we definitely need to be getting a reference to our beans somehow, which we could probably do... Item object. Do we have a living... Get current equipped living being? But that means equipped to... Even if it's like... I mean, it won't be tracing. It's safe for now. This will be a very iterative process. And we want to do that whenever it starts tracing. But see, this is where we run into an issue because it won't necessarily be equipped when it is... Whatchamacallit? Andy Dev. Hi, what a coincidence. Checked Twitch today, seeing you stream. Nice videos, by the way. Can I ask you a question about your water shader regarding the point light? Yes, absolutely. Sure thing. Oh, the item actor has the trace array. So we don't need... Oh, we do have an on-weapon equip. I guess we then need to... this will have the trace array. Which is when the item's created, we do it. How'd you get the light being showed up in the single layer water shader? So nice. It kind of just did that. So I wouldn't really know where to start. I guess it depends on I guess what your shader looks like at the moment. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's all just stock standard single layer water stuff. There's nothing really special going on in terms of the point light thingo. You consider posting your stuff on the Epic Developer Hub? I've thought about it. I just haven't gotten around to it. But yeah, I mean, maybe I will. I should when I've got some time. Maybe I should use current trace array rather, because it might. Yeah, actually, I will do that. Let's just set that every time we start tracing. Should we're often looking for authors for nice learning material, transparency. I'm at Epic doing templates also. Awesome. Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely not opposed to putting it there. Yeah, I just haven't gotten around to it, I guess. I've been a bit slack lately, but I'm getting back into the swing of things, so hopefully I'll find the drive to do some real work. Oh. Why did my... So that is determine outgoing damage is from our... Yeah. Right, so this should just be get outgoing damage from item object. Oops. get the outgoing melee damage. That does its thing. Blah, blah, blah. Easy, easy. Then take damage. Instigating actor would be the item object owner. And this would actually just be this static data. Get the blah blah blah. Do we even need an instigating? Well, no, that's my interface. Appreciate help. I have questions. Your stuff is nice and inspiring. Richard, Chris Murphy, who's in your region of it. Yeah, I think I've talked to Chris before. I've talked to some of the Epic guys. But that was to do more with the game project rather than learning material stuff. Like just talking about like the best way to go about getting epic mega grant stuff and that kind of thing. Yeah, they're all very cool dudes. Very cool. I guess the instigating actor should probably be self, shouldn't it? Yeah, you know what? It's gonna be item actor. Cheers, cheers. I hope you have a good day. Alright, no more errors. Now, the big bad that we need to do is... Alright. Where's the... Thor 20 Crow, how's it going? Ooh. Let me have a look. Ooh, nice. Hell yeah. Yeah, nice. Yeah, cool. Very cool. Finally, yeah, I'm doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. Getting back into the swing of things. Although I know I've said that for like the past few days. But I'm actually getting back into the swing of things. Yeah, true, Jay. Hell yeah. So I guess we need to... Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think the fur will really put them up a notch. So I think with these, with this item attack tracing, I think I'll combine all of the logic into one because everything can be used as a melee weapon and thrown as a projectile and simulated physically. So it kind of needs to have all of them. Because like a crate of arrows falling on someone needs to deal damage. Or if you stab someone with an arrow, needs to do damage. Or if you shoot the arrow out of a bow, needs to do damage. So yeah, I think this will be like a pretty monolithic thing, which is nice because yeah. Which means I just have to put a boolean in here to say if it's doing tick traces, is it a is it projectile ticking or is it melee ticking? Because like, yeah, they have different logic. Because if it's a projectile trace, then when it hits armor, like it can deflect and all that kind of stuff, depending on the sub-component, I guess. So this is the generic item trace component thing. And then I guess for... Yeah... Actually, no, that should work pretty well. Okay, fuck. What? So. That would be like melee bonk, kind of. Alright, well let's just go to the process hit. So should this be process melee hit? I mean, all of that's the same though, so maybe it could just be a different output. So this is trace type as in the socket type thingo. And then it does get outgoing melee damage on the item object, which has the array of the things, but then this part here is what we're actually going to replace with a calculation, which will just be sweep and thrust, or I might call it swing and thrust. No, I'll call it sweep. But we don't need to have all these different attack types, because we want it to be independent from the Fowler. So lucky I did a pretty big commit. So when we, oh god, this is gonna break everything. How exciting. No, get the... Where does this even belong? There's like a struct somewhere. Core... Or is it in the old attack trace component? It probably is. Attack trace collection, what's that? Oh yeah, it's old. Attack trace type, point, primary, handle. Attack type. Okay, so this one we don't have to get rid of it. We can just deprecate it. Actually, can I deprecate a... Damn it. Can I mark as deprecate? Nope. Cool. So where's this in combat? Melee damage. This is physical damage per trace type per attack type. Wow. Yeah, it's a big fucking thing. But anyway, where is it stored? Physical damage per something, something, something. This one. Which then, so where is this? Show in folder. Sweet. It's in weapons, which it shouldn't be, but it kind of makes sense to be there. But it also doesn't, because it's not exclusive to weapons, but we'll keep it there for now. So the physical damage per trace type. This is fine, and this is per... Is that a name or an enum? What the fuck is this? Point, primary, handle. It's a structure. So confused. How does this... Oh, it's a... Jekyll. I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good. How are you? Oh, here it is. Default. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so that's from enum to doodad. So... Where's that enum, though? Trace type. Trace type. Attack trace type. So I want to rename this to top spike. I'm gonna add another one. Side spike and butt spike. And then I'll add one for all. That might be useful for the Because the thing is that not all weapons have all things. Also, that isn't necessarily butt spike. That's just the butt. So that should break a ton of stuff. Exciting. No, it hasn't broken it. Oh, wait, no, I need to restart this. The engine. Continuing to learn C++ for UE, more skill, more practice. I like game dev. Hell yeah. That's what we like to hear. Okay, so I probably want to... So for a weapon part, we want to have... Yeah, for the sake of, like, not having a billion things on screen at once, we want it to be a map. So it'll be it's going to be nested maps. Wow. Wow, I hate it. So we'll probably just do it from the ground up. So if we go to items, I'll just do it in here. So this is physical damage per trace type, which is... Yeah, so it's like a fixed struct of structs, but we want it to be a... And then this is a struct of blah, blah, blah. So I guess we want it to be... Okay. We want it to be an enum of any amount. Within that enum, it has values. So this is the point, like the trace point type. So the blade, for example. And then we just want to know 2 sets of 3 values, which are floats. So this is our physical damage struct, so we've already got that. Then we just need to know when it's swept and when it's thrusted, what the values are for this. So that's actually very easy. That's literally just physical damage per trace type, which is physical damage struck. Okay, so it should be... Hold on. Yeah, we kind of want to reorder it. I'll be right back, but don't miss me too much. And we're back. All right, so I guess we'll make a new struct and we'll replace variables. So I shouldn't have even fricked with the other ones, because that kind of breaks a lot of shit. Well, actually, no, we can just leave that out. Yeah, because that wasn't actually getting used anyway. Cool. And then these should all still technically work. Yeah. Yeah, cool. Yeah, it's stabbed. Oh wait, where's the point trace? There is no point trace. Right, I see. That's why this is doing shit damage. Wait, no, this shouldn't even be... bashed. Anyway. So. New struct. Which is... is damage per direction. Is damage for swing and thrust. Which is just when is it sweep or swing? What's our naming? I guess it is a swing, isn't it? When you swing something, you don't sweep it. Yeah, you know what? That's how we're gonna do it. I guess it would be swung. You know what? I'll call it when swung. And then when thrust. Or thrusted. Thrusted. And this is just physical damage struct. Yeah. Yeah. I'm late to the party. True, yeah, it's going down. It's a good time. Pretty chill at the moment. We're just breaking everything, which is fun. I can probably just edit the existing struct to work and then not have to deal with all of the data entry again. No, I can't, because we're going to do it as a map. So in our item static data asset, for example, in our default damage stuff, this will be melee damage. Well, this will just be damage defaults. Because it isn't necessarily just for melee. Yeah. Are we good at breaking stuff? Hell yeah. So this is going to be let's go enum, what was it called again? Enum attack trace type. And it's going to be a map from attack trace type to the physical damage. Physical fucking... what was it called? Swing. Physical damage. The swing and thrust. So then this will look like... do this. We have a choice of blah, blah, blah. I might reorder it so primary's at the top. That kind of makes the most sense. Because for something like a bottle, it'll just be one trace thing. And so, yeah. Items. These ones. These ones. That'll be swung or thrust. And then... where was that enum again? What was it called again? Attack trace. Sorry. Yeah, and we don't need this anymore. Well, we've just done it like that. So there's an enum. But, yeah. Let's reorder that and that. Primary, top spike, handle, side spike, butt, and all. Kind of important, I guess, yeah. Okay, so then this looks like, for the primary thing, we have 2 structs. So when it's swung, this does 1 slash damage, no pierce damage, 1 impact damage. When it's thrust, the blade does half slash damage, no pierce damage, no impact damage, because it's just sliding along the thing. So that's a lot easier. And then if the blade doesn't have, or like if it doesn't have a, oh fuck you, I hate that. You can't add another one as a default. I guess you can always do that and then that and then change it and then back to that, then do it. I wish it would still let you add a new key, but then you just can't compile it. Really fucking annoying. I guess you could always... can you duplicate an entry? No. Can I copy and paste it? No. Yeah, I hate that. I hate it. Oh wait, copy? No, I can't paste it. Anyway, it'll work. So we just say item static data asset, damage defaults, blah blah blah. Yeah. Let's actually just give it a default for all of them. Can I expand all? Expand all? Yeah. So when swung, impact damage, we'll just say 0.1. This is just for like a generic item, like an apple or something. When we thrust with an apple, yeah, I guess it does a bit of impact damage. There wouldn't be any side spikes ever, so we'll just set all... basically just set all the impact damage to... I guess if it had a... that would be 0. Top spike would be 0.1, 0.1. Primary, 0.1. 0. Well, that would be 0 as well. No, it might be 0.1, yeah. Yeah, cool. And then for our actual, what do we call it? Like item parts. Weapon part. Physical damage modifiers, blah, blah, blah. That, yeah, has all that structy thing again, but new variable. This is called, what was it called? Melee. Well, it's just called damage. Modifiers, I guess, which is from point trace type. Attack trace type. Mapped to is damage when swung or thrust. And then blah blah blah. So that is all there. Yeah. Cool. So that means with our actually, one thing I'm going to do real quick is characters, character components. Attack trace component. I'm just going to disable this so that when it says, well, it's never going to tick. It's also never going to start. And it's never going to end. That shouldn't show any traces. Yeah, that's cool. That shouldn't be doing any damage. Cool. Also cool. And now we're going to go to the item trace thingo. Item components, item attack trace component. Blah, blah, blah. Determine outgoing damage is get outgoing melee damage, but it has the attack type, which needs to be determined. Well, we need to do this differently now, because we're going to be using item static data. Damage default is just called damage. Get damage defaults. And then we know the trace type, so we can find in here. Find. And then we can break. And then when swore. Oh no, wait. Yeah, because that's. Yeah, this is a lot easier. So when thrust, when swung. The trace... Oh no, because the trace type's going into the map, isn't it? Yeah. Easy peasy. Also, we can just do this. Too easy. Oh, I guess if it doesn't find trace type, blah blah blah, then we well, I guess we just send ourselves an angry message. So if we didn't find any damage corresponding to the trace type that hit, then print string a weapon tried dealing damage from a trace type that was on the mesh, but not in the item's damage values. Sort your shit out, son. And then we're gonna let that stay up for a long time. Different color. Now that should never happen because the defaults include all of the stuff, but if we've overridden the defaults and blah blah blah, then yeah. Now the other thing we have to do is for the modular weapons. They have their own thing. Which is a bit more complicated. But it isn't actually that much more complicated. So it's just for each, we then construct a... yeah. A physical damage output. So all we really need to do is get the trace type, attack type, and that will go into here. And the item static data, weapon part, object reference, which is get damage modifiers. We want to look up from that, not from that, because we're going through each of the parts of the weapon and figuring out, hey, how much damage we dealing, and then that just outputs a physical damage, goes into there. We do that for each part. Blah, 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 blah. Multiply by their material. Sweet. So sweet. Oh, and then on completed, we do that. Why is that there? Oh, that was just in case we wanted to do a default output. So that also works. The other thing that we need to figure out is for a weapon type, what material corresponds to what? Because for the sake of audio stuff, if a weapon, let's say a spear as our example, if a spear lands on the ground point first, we need to know what material it is, blah, blah, blah. If it hits with the butt of it, we need to know what material it was. Same with like, if we hit someone with a shaft of a spear and they parry it, then we don't want to make sparks. We want to do like wood splinters and a puff of dust or something. So all we really need to do is just say what trace type corresponds to what material class of the weapon that's been generated. Then we can do everything from there, which is super easy. Because yeah, like if we hit someone with the pommel of a sword, we don't want it to go chwing, that kind of thing. So where do we decide that though? There's one case where I can see it getting weird, because we could just do it on the weapon class type, like the weapon assembly thingo, or like, you know, the weapon type static data. So like a two-handed longsword, we always know that the point is going to be metal and the blade's going to be metal and the pommel's going to be metal and the handle's going to be wood. But it's a little bit different with like pole arms if they have a metal shaft. Although I guess that could just be a separate weapon assembly, like a reinforced blah blah blah. Same thing with like bows. We'd have a class of wood bows and then a class of like bone bows or something, or metal bows even, which would have different assets anyway. Yeah, so that makes sense. So we'd put that on the cat making funny noise. Items, weapons. Oh no, it'd be on item static data, wouldn't it? Yeah. So this would be a map from. So that should be in combat. I don't even know if that counts as combat, but it'd technically be an appearance, wouldn't it? Or gameplay data. Let's just put in combat for now. So this would be a trace type to material class map. So this is going to be trace type, attack trace type. Oh, actually, I'll call it attack. Well, it's not even attack. It should be damage trace type. Anyway, you can rename that later. So then this will be a map from that to material class here, which will then use the material class map to determine which part of the thing was hit. So if we have a, I don't know, fucking mace or something, or are they supposed to have metal shafts? Yeah, they are actually. Well, are they? Aren't they supposed to be wood? Or is that, again, one of the differences between the maces and the axes? Oh, no, it's just that particular shaft type, isn't it? Or is it? Weapons, weapon item, melee weapons, top heavy, handles. Handle, creator, params, very main color, palette, metal. Yeah. Oh no, that's handles. We want the shafts. So that one's wood. That one's wood also. And that one is also wood. Then why is it not? Oh, is it because this isn't UV'd to be... Because that's using the... Hmm. Yeah, true. So these parts are using the metal. I mean, it's only really for those ones. Like, this one's all wood. Or is it? No, it's all metal as well. Then this one's definitely woodened. So is this one. Yeah, because it's in here. If we do that, then they should all be getting... Yeah. Yep. Okay, cool. So maybe that is something that we just have to differentiate, is like metal shafted ones. And I guess the other thing we could do is have an override in the part data. So for like shafts, this one, we then say trace type material override something. Then we'd have to iterate over all of them, which isn't a big deal. Yeah. Well. The other thing I need to figure out is how. There's like some stuff to do with the audio that I need to kind of figure out how to structure it, because no, I guess it can just be like sword and then the material type. So I guess we need another map, actually. Fucking hell, so many fucking maps. In our item static data, which is a tack trace type. So this is... Fuck. What's it called? Trace type to surface hit data. Map surface hit data. So that'll basically mean, yeah, for a spear, trace type handle uses this surface hit data, blah, 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 which is, you know, polearm shaft, and that has all of the particles that it needs to spawn, all of the sounds that it needs to play in it. Then we can modify that by the material. So if it's an oak shafted blah 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 weapon and we hit it and they parry and we want to spawn wood chips and stuff, then they'll be the same color as that thing. Same with like the sparks. If we want the sparks from certain metals to be specific colors, then they'll have a particle color override thinger, basically. Package game doesn't do event left mouse, but that is an odd one. That is very odd. Very quite odd. Gonna kick a baby. Oh dear. I'm pretty sure I've heard of other people having the same issue, so it might be worth asking in either the Discord or one of the Unreal Discords or something. Or even just Google. Google might have a thing, just like input event not working in package game. Am I using Lumen? I'm not. I'm not using Lumen or Nanite, and I probably won't for this game, just because they're very... they've got high overheads, and they don't actually add anything to this project. Like, Lumen does work, but it actually kind of takes away control of lighting in a weird way. Lumen might be nice for, like, interior scenes, like caves and stuff, but other than that, it's a bit weird. A bit weird, champ. Baked lighting for the win? I wouldn't go that far. I'm still using all dynamic, like, what do you call it? Dynamic directional and dynamic skylight, using like distance fields and stuff. So, no baking for me. No bacon. Sov, it's gone pretty good. It's gone pretty good. Oh, I added those things that you sent me. I haven't tested it yet though, but I might do that now so we can see what's going on. So if I say custom data... Oh wait, no, that's for the thing. Can I just do that at runtime? I guess... Well, no, we can just say custom data. Let's just set that to 100, even though it should only be 1 or something. Fingers crossed. Yeah, I mean, I hope it worked because it would. I'll actually show you what I'll be using it for. It'll be useful for like heaps of material effects because one of the, well, actually, I'll show you. It'll probably be relevant for your project as well. Because you're doing a lot of like runtime Vertex color painting and that kind of stuff. Yeah, so let me just, where's my player? And then whenever we press P6, OHYG. Where are all my debuggers? Where's my P? Here it is. All right, we do this. Then we, if it hits something, okay, we don't want to worry about that. We just want to get custom data, the custom primitive data. Index 0 component will be the hit component. Oh wait, break. I will cast just to, oops, make sure. Static mesh. And then that's the thingo, so then we're just going to print that. Right, moment of truth. So if we have this, I mean, make a new one that's like this, and another one that is this. We save all in case it crashes. Cool, we do this. We should get nothing if we do this. Oh, 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 oh. Okay, now we're talking. So, oh, okay, that was interesting. Was that search and fail index 0? Ah, right, okay. Yeah, it was out of bounds. Okay, I expected that. I thought that would happen. So we just have to check. Yeah, I can probably do that. I mean, what I will be doing is looking, rather than getting the index, hard-coded, there's actually a thing to get custom data index by name, -1 if not found, and then, yeah, branch if it's less than or equal to -1. And then this will be blood, for example. So yeah, it doesn't matter that we get an out of bounds thingo, because the way I'll be accessing it is through this anyway. So yeah, so we're gonna do that. We're gonna do that, and then we know what the index is because we found it. Therefore, this should never fail, which is great. Let me just okay. So now if we hit some stuff, this should always fail now. Oh, I plugged in the true, not the false. Oops. So now it can only fail. Hell yeah. That's good coding. Only fail. All right, take two. There we go. Yep, cool. Okay, so. Yeah, you are right, Tiwi. I swapped it around to be false. Okay, so the grand reveal is if we get a... Let's just get this, because why not? Actually, I haven't tested if the Vertex Painter works on scaled meshes. This will be a good opportunity for that. So let's say... new material. This will have Vertex color. That'll be red into a... Let's just do it like just a straight up lerp for now between color and color. We'll probably be doing it negative because their default is fully white and I can't be fucked setting it otherwise. Yeah. You know, we could make it look nice as well. And then multiplied by the inverse of this. Cool. And then this is going to be stone color, and then this will be blood color. It's a bit purple. And then what we will do, okay, so this is, let me see what's going on first. Character components, nope, player components, player. When we hit something, we are going to say, do I have the Vertex Painter? Yeah, cool. So we can say when we hit a static mesh, we want to paint on mesh at location. This is like a big thing. Blah, 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 blah. It's all multi-threaded. No painter specified. Normal is default. Paint. Oh no, we don't want to limit paint. We want a strength to apply on colors is negative 0.5 in the red. Only detection, painter area settings. Area of effect. 100, 1 with full color. All off. No, that's fine. And the hit fundamentals make hit location, impact point, hit normal, no, just the normal. The component. Oh, there it is. Hit component, bam. Hit actor, bam. There's no hitbone name. Oh, well, actually, if there was a hitbone name, it would be that. If it was a skelly mesh, basically. So now, we should theoretically be able to... Why won't this collide? Son. Hello? Let's just go vertex color into here. Maybe I changed the color to be something else. No, that's okay. Maybe it is the scale. Oh, fuck. Barely understand anything but I heckin' love game development. Hell yeah. Is this not tracing collision? Mouse trace default block. Well, good overlap actually. Okay, so that is hitting it. Good. Sweet. So now we just have to figure out why it isn't painting there. Oh, it's because this doesn't have CPU access. Classic. Classic, classic. There we go. There we go. Sweet. So now we're vertex coloring at runtime. Very cool. Now we can swap that back to this setup that we had. Yeah, whatever. Yeah. So now it's like blood or something. Very cool. We could spice it up. Actually, you know what? Let's move that back there, but give it some light. So I don't have to move the fucking light around. Cool. Oh my god, can you move? Okay, so step 1. Runtime vertex color paint. Easy. Easy mode. Now, what we need to do... Actually, I'm going to make that look a bit nicer, just by doing a noise map. I could do it... I could do world space noise, actually. That could be interesting. Let's go noise... position is just world position. There, we're going to use this as a 0 to 1. Well, actually, I can just say 0 to 2. Added to this. No, this is the texture, isn't it? So it's -1. So output max 0, min -1. Add to this multiplied by 2. Which is the transition phase. Then contrast. And that's our height lerp. Contrast of, I don't know, 20 or something. That goes into the alpha. That goes into here. Blah, blah, blah. So now we should get like some like noise breaking up the blood effect. Okay, that's very dense noise. Scale is smaller, bigger? Oh, levels to 1. With turbulence, I think. I mean, yeah, kinda. It's something. A bit wacky, but... Smaller scale. Sweet. I might also just turn down the thing. The radius. let's make it softer and smaller. Okay, so let's just put that there as well. Okay, so our test. We can, yeah. Ow. It does the thing. If we keep shooting, then yeah, it gets more bloody. Bloody, bloody, bloody. Interesting. So, the way that we're going to use this get custom data thing is so we can get the effect to fade out over time. So, rather than needing to tick over it constantly, also that's really funny looking, rather than needing to tick over it constantly, let's say we've like painted like, you know, heaps and heaps of things. Rather than needing to keep track of all of them and tick them over time to get rid of the effect, what we will do is a cool thing, which is going to be getting a custom data float. And this is called use custom primitive data index 0. It's called blood. And then we're going to, I guess we'd have to, well, we're going to get time. We're going to get, this is good. Well, actually, it's not called blood. It's called last time vert painted. So the time minus the last time divided by the rate of each, like the fade out rate of each channel thing. So I guess 0 would be instantaneous though, wouldn't it? How can you do infinity? You know what? Fuck it. We're just gonna deal with this for now. So we're gonna say over 20 seconds, this will fade. Well, we're gonna have to saturate it first. Oops. So over 20 seconds, this will fade from 0 back up to 1. And then what we do in here is we can get the paint animation. Do I do that first or the other thing first? No, I think I do this last. So we're just going to shift all that shit over there. We are going to do this. We're going to do this. We're going to find the, what was it? Time last vert painted. Primitive custom data thing. No, last time. Oh, let's just change it to time last. Time last verse painted. Vert painted. Then we are going to get. We're gonna paint. No, add. Or is it paint? Paint entire. Paint on entire mesh. And we're going to get game time in seconds. We're going to get this custom primitive data. We're going to subtract that from this. So then we know how long it's been since we last painted it. And we can use that if we've got a steady, like, fade-out value to apply strength to a set mesh to color instead of adding to it. No, we want to add to it. we're going to do this, divided by our fade out rate was 20. We're going to add that to the red color. It's going to do that. Then it's going to go and paint at the location once we set the custom data to the new time. So we're going to go static mesh component, set custom data, primitive data float, index, whatever the one for that one was. Then the value is the game time in seconds here. There's the new value. Blah, blah, blah. And then that should work theoretically. Times his last vert painted, subtract, blah, 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 and that. Is there a safe divide? No. So, if we test this out, well, I've fucked it. Wait, so that's set at 0 by default. That minus 0 divided by 20. That should just be adding to that. Oh, wait, hold on. We need to 1 minus this. 1 minus, then multiply. I don't know where that 1 minus went. So now, we should be able to... Fuck. Oh, wait, hold on. Yes, I've just got it around the wrong way, apparently. And the fade out isn't correct, but... Oh, I need to be using a collection. The CPU time for this. Which is in weather for some reason. CPU time. I mean, it shouldn't make a difference this close to the thing. So let's just run over this one more time. So we've got our time that it was last vertex painted. So let's say it was painted 100 seconds in before. Well, no, let's say it's painted at 100 seconds. Then the CPU time would be 100 seconds. Then as CPU time gets to 120, 120 minus 100 divided by 20 equals 1. So we've added 1 to the vertex color. So that should be back up at white. And then we 1 minus that, put that into the thing, we do the blood effect. Oh, wait, no, the... Oh, fuck. We don't want a 1 minus that. I think it's just because the default is at 0, right? Wait, does it even have a default? Where the fuck are the default? I don't even know if it has a default value. That's just the index, not the... Oh, is it? I know why it is. It's because this... Custom data, I've set that to 40 by default. Haha, classic. Okay, so yeah. So we can do this. It will fade out over time without us updating it again. And then when we hit it again, right, so it isn't, so it's going back for some reason. I know how to do this. So So the reason that it's going funky is in this thing. So this was the time that it was last updated. This is the game time in seconds. That minus that. And we set that afterwards. After we do the thing. Hold on. That might be it. Yeah. No? Yeah. What are the other things in here? Oh! I'm just dumb as fuck. Alright. We weren't actually telling it to... We were updating the time, but not actually telling it to do the thing. So... Doy. The other thing I might do is just make this a bit stronger. -1. And we'll go like bigger, like 40 or something. Okay, now it should work. So, we hit it. There is blood. It can fade out. And it's fading out. And then when we hit it again... Ooh, so something's misaligned. Like, time-wise. Or is it the painting of the LEDs, I wonder? Wait. Might actually be the LEDs. Yeah, I wonder why it pops like that. Oh, it's because it's multi-thread. Because it's in a... Yeah. Maybe we can set it to not multi... So it'll run in game thread. Same with this one. Because it's only one at a time. I think it should be. So we don't run it on a different thread. Then maybe that will fix the... Because if it's doing it async, then... no. I mean, it's not flickering as bad now. Yeah, it's not like flicking, it's just not subtracting the right amount when we paint it first. It's, yeah, like getting a bit bigger. Oh, is it maybe... Oh, no. Is it maybe doing it in sRGB color space? So is this one better than default RT thing? Yeah, well, this is just doing Vertex color. So for, like, scenery objects, it's... Yeah, way better than just doing a... I mean, obviously you can't get the... What do you call it? The, I forget what it is. What's it called? Accuracy. Or, like, the fidelity of, render targets and whatnot. But you can do it... Like, this isn't costing anything to have there. Because it's all on the... What's it called? Vertex color. So if we did that on an actual mesh... Oh, actually, let me... Yes. So this is what we'll use for, like, putting blood on walls and stuff. Obviously with a proper texture, not just this random noise thing. Yeah, I wonder why it's getting a tiny bit bigger. Like that. Maybe we should be painting it first, then subtracting the amount. Look at this huge spaghetti. It's a blood pressure. Yeah, it can be used for anything. So if we wanted to paint like damage on our buildings and stuff, rather than using decals, we could use this Runtime Vertex paint. Even 100 actors using render target for grass. Oh no, so the deformation render target only works like top-down projected, whereas this is like fully 3D, you know? So this is like, it's on a wall. And it won't go on like the backside of the wall if we, well, if I shoot it here. Do you know what I mean? There's no way you could use a render target for this many meshes at once, if that makes sense. Like, if we duplicate this, it'll become more obvious. And so by doing this material trick with the custom data, these aren't, what's it called? These aren't ticking at all, and we can fade it out over time, that kind of thing. So to get out, is better with the unwrap paint stuff for blood than before, where we project using normal hit. So the reason for that sandbox is that if there are too many textures, so every render target takes up space in memory, and needing to sample all those different textures all the time causes like cache misses, and slows down rendering a ton. Like when we have 100 or 200 characters on screen at once that have their own render target, if we get rid of the render target, no matter what size the render target is, there is a frame increase. So doing that for every single static mesh, keep in mind that all the buildings and stuff will be... Also, I know my camera just turned off. I'll fix that in a sec. When we've got like modular buildings that are made up of, you know, like parts like, not that, but, you know, they're made up of like hundreds of different meshes for like one house. Needing to have a render target for each of them would be completely, you know, completely overkill. And that much functionality literally truly paint over each prop. Well, I mean, it's free to do so, like with Runtime Vertex paint, because the Vertex paint exists anyway. So you know, if we go to Vertex paint, mesh paint, blah blah blah, you know, paint it, visualize the RGB channels, and you know, do that or whatever. It's always there. It's always, you know, in memory and whatnot. It's usually just set to 1111, but you know, we can now change it at runtime and make it do cool material effects and stuff. And it's very performant because all it needs to do is iterate through all of the verts on the mesh, which it can do asynchronously, and then compare the location and do the fall off and blah blah blah. So for small meshes like this, like modular house meshes that only have like, you know, 50 verts or something, it's like ultra performant, and it doesn't have any like constant cost. It's a one-off cost, and after that it's like, you know, the same. There's no cost to it, basically. So it basically eliminates the need for like blood decals, which get super expensive. We can have more effects on more things for longer without having like, you know, if it was a thin wall like this, and there was like blood, let's say like we're looking at a house from the outside and a character inside gets stabbed or something. If we were using decals, unless the decal was like really thin, but then it might not align properly, you'd see the blood on the opposite side of the wall, which is undesirable. But with this Vertex paint method, it can limit it to the normal that was hit, so it won't paint on anything behind it. So yeah, it's well, you can't see my thumbs up. Let me just fix my camera. I'll be back in one tick. All right. We're back. Also, Kimmo Shaw, thank you very much for the tier 1 subarage. Thank you, thank you. Need to command to bring up the... Yeah, that's true. I need to update the Twitch bot like a ton. In fact, I don't even know if it's running at the moment. It's not. It is now though. What was I? So anyway, back to the thing. Yeah, this is good and it works. And it's fantastic. Ultra performant. No ticking needed to fade it out. It'll just fade itself out and then update when we do it again. Which I don't know why it's adding extra. Well, it isn't there. It's definitely a... Yeah, it's less pronounced when it's been longer. Like the longer it's been thingoed. It's so weird. Actually, it's telling us the time of it. Yeah, it's so weird. I don't think it's anything to do with my logic. But anyway. I like the RuneScape level up sound for the follow. True, true. So yeah, this is like a big... Let's just move this fucking mess out of the way. I like the RuneScape level up sound for the follow. Thank you, thank you. It's part of the aesthetic, you know. All right, let's get back to work. Maybe we should get this from the collection and see if it works better that way. Instead of getting game time in seconds, we actually get the collection and then set that. That's the thing. Maybe that'll fix the... Camera goes these things from UI, UX while making widgets. A few things. Yeah. Yeah, that sounds good. Okay, it's definitely something. Yeah, I'd say it's a conversion issue. probably sRGB. Bollocks. Anyway. Do you plan to use Vertex for presentation? Probably not, because it... I mean, we... We possibly could. We possibly could. So we'd only have to do it... Like, we'd still have to do a lot of traces to... Like, from above. I mean, like, we wouldn't do it so that it's like when a raindrop hits, we then paint it and then blah, blah, blah. I don't know, I'd probably still stick with... I've already got some ways to be able to tell if something is like wet or dry, just by using like line traces and are they undercover and that kind of thing. The other thing to keep in mind is it doesn't work on landscapes. Landscapes can't be vertex painted. Plus landscapes are like... They're like this big, so there's not much... not much, what you call it. There aren't many vertices to be able to get any kind of meaningful coloring going on. So yeah, it'll all be like a big hybrid system. The characters will still use the render targets. The static meshes will use vertex paint. And the ground will use the landscape deformation render target thingo. All in perfect harmony. You're doing a voxel plugin both. Yeah, true. Yeah, I wonder. Because I don't know how voxel landscape works, if it can be painted or not. I think the only problem would be, in order to determine the location of the verts from the, you know, in the location or whatever, it has to go through all of the verts to check their distance and whatever. I'm not sure how that would work with a landscape if it is like dynamically LODing. I mean, it can do LOD. It can paint LODs as well. Like, it'll just run the calculation on this one and its lower LOD and its lower LOD and that kind of thing. But I don't know. Anyway, let's... That was a nice little sidetrack. Bit sidetracked, but proof of concept, it works. We can have blood on everything, and we can damage stone things and blah blah blah. And we just have to put it in the material. What does damaged stone look like? What does damaged wood look like? So then when we attack something or we blow something up with a bomb, we can change the look of it, that kind of thing. The other thing that I want to use this for, actually, is burning things, like burning buildings and wooden props and that kind of stuff, because the plugin can spawn particles on certain vertex colors and then remove it. So like we would have anything that's wood be automatically painted to be a certain, like, you know, the art or the alpha value would be 0 instead of 1. 0 meaning that it can be burned. And then we can have it spread along it, spawning fire particles. And then as the fire particles spawn over it, it becomes less and less. Like we deduct the color, vertex color, so then it'll stop burning where it's already been burned. And then the plugin can actually detect what percentage of a mesh is, you know, what are the vertex colors of the mesh, you know, for each channel. So then we could say, well, it's, you know, 95% burned. Let's make it fall apart or something using like chaos physics and shit. So it could be a very interesting way of doing fire spreading and whatnot, because, you know, we could have one mesh that has stone here, and then it's got like wooden support bits and, you know, blah, 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 and then that joins onto another mesh, but we can still burn it. We can still propagate fire up through the wooden parts. So that could be pretty interesting. Yeah, there's a lot of, let me actually get the I won't open up now. There's a demo on the marketplace for it. Game demo. It's so cheap as well. It's like $20. So yeah, this is how they do Splatoon. Legend Mando, for some reason I can't donate, so I guess I'm a gift subs. If you do want to donate effectively, you can subscribe to the Patreon for as little as $1 per month. But otherwise, gift subs are very appreciated. And there you go. There's some some gift subs. Congrats, Jekyll, Cart Maniac, Pigeon Wizard, Marsleaf, and Geo. Enjoy the gifted subs, and remember to thank Legend for being a legend. Thank you, thank you. Very appreciated. Maybe I'll write a review for it. Can I still rate it? Might have to write it. I'll do it. Review. I'll be doing a video on it as well. And I did get the asset for free, so like disclaimer. Anyway, let's continue on our quest to item attack tray. Okay, this is what we're doing. Okay, so we can probably We probably want to construct the attack trace array on this component now, rather than on the item. Tries to do a mod for Minecraft, needs a lot of patience here. Yeah, I mean, sometimes mods can be even harder than making a game from the ground up. It depends on the game and if it already has like good modding support or not. But sometimes like jumping into someone else's code is like even more difficult than, you know, using like an engine to do something from scratch. It depends on the scope of the mod. Like if you just want to change a few parameters and whatnot. Using an engineer? Yeah, much easier. A lot of the really laborious stuff is done for you, like, you know, rendering and memory management and all that kind of annoying stuff. So this is going to be... Yeah, and then this will be the owning. Oop. Owning item. Object. Static data. Get all of its things. I mean, we can probably just... do this at runtime. You know, we may as well just set it once. So this is going to... Oh. We want to go item... actor... We want to get the item mesh. That's the one we're getting off the socket. So, for each of the... Oh, that's right. Well, actually, let's do... Make... Yeah, no, let's have a local variable called attack trace type priority list, which is going to be a list of attack trace types. An array. How do I array shift right click? And then this is going to have a default value of... So we're going to go from the top spike, side spike, then primary, then butt, then handle. That's the order that we want them to be added to the array in. Okay, so then for each of those types, we're going to loop through all the sockets on the item mesh. We're going to see if it contains the name on the socket. Then, if it finds one, we're going to add it to the thingo. We're going to get the type, the socket name itself, because it might be like primary 01, primary 02, blah, blah, blah. We get the radius, we add that to this struct, and that's our item attack trace array, or struct array. Cool. So we no longer need this in here. Where does this get? This gets called on begin play, probably. Right. Wherever that is. Where's find? Find results. Attack array thingo. But where's that getting called? There. On his main weapon, create attack trace array. Which will... Okay, cool. So we can just do this. On begin play of the component. So, on begin play of component, we are going to create our attack trace array. Cool. Wait, and what does that... That gets item attack trace array. So then we need to use that. No, we want to use our one. So item attack trace array. We can get rid of that from the actor. Which a lot of things are going to get angry because of that, but don't fucking care. And we also don't need... Oh, I'm just going to deprecate that. Can I... Actually, I can just get rid of that now, because we're never going to need to do it on the actor itself. It'll always be on the tracing component. Because it's only ever the tracing component that is gonna need the attack traces. So, get yeeted. Sweet. Okay, so. We've created our array. When attack trace starts, we get the locations. Blah, blah, blah. On tick, attack trace cycle, current trace array, tick through it, blah, blah. So if we say here for duration, let's just say on begin play, attack trace start. So we're just going to make the weapon, this might just crash, but we'll see. Okay, so it isn't working because we need to put the component on items. Right, that's getting really angry. Tracing mesh, cannot find. Okay, well. Yeah. Say it okay, dude. No, this is Pepson's RimWorld expansion soundtrack. Well, it's like a music expansion sound. It's just like extra music for the game. Very similar vibe. Right, that should fix those errors. Well, there we go. It's right, we hit ourselves. But it worked, yeah. Read property tracing, but what do you mean? Access none, trying to read property tracing mesh. Oh, because we're setting that somewhere, aren't we? Set tracing mesh. No, literally just there. Fuck it, we're just gonna go through. Finding item actor, item mesh. Right, that's all of it. Okay, now will it just freak off? Cool. Well, it's obviously still throwing the errors, but why is it this time? Access none, get surface on surface collision results. Is it hitting itself? I think it's tracing against itself. ignore self. Actors to ignore. I might just add self. So whenever tech trace starts, we are adding the living bean, and we're gonna add self. Well, fuck. Item actor. Well, yeah, just the item actor. Bam. Oh, sorry, let me catch up. Figured out my issues, no idea why. There was some funny business with the enum switches. Right. Yeah. Yep. Classic enums and enum switches. Now I don't have to kick you, baby. That's important. Exactly. Legend, that's all good. Have fun with the rest of your day. Have a ripper. Is meant to service your data map. So why is that? Shouldn't the bonk check be doing? Yeah, well, I mean, it should be doing it from the what's it called? Anyway. Oh, there's some main weapon actor. That's not something that's real. That should be owning item object. Get the static data. Get the surface hit data, blah, 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 blah. And that'll tell us what to spawn and shit. Which I'm guessing we do on the Sparks trace as well. Okay. Unwrapped draw material. Nope. Access non-trainer reproducing action manager component. That's fine. Access non-trainer redraw current damage to cache. Yep. Access none notify weapon bonk. Right. Yes. Which would be in here. Notify weapon bonk on equip current living being block. Yeah. So this is something that should only be doing so yeah, we'll essentially need to have a trace type thing and then switch on. Well, it won't be like trace type, but it'll be like is it like a melee attack? Is it a physically simulated thingo, or is it a like projectile? So like simulated, not simulated physics, but like yeah. Yeah, and so then we can just do separate stuff. So we only need to bonk and do wall checks and all that kind of stuff for melee attacks. Well, we still need to do some of them for projectiles, but yeah. Yes, I'll need to go through all the names and stuff again. See, that should have... Yeah. God, it really doesn't like tracing. Notify weapon bot. Yeah. So that, yeah. They'll never get called because... Well, we can just do that. Then on attack trace and we stop ticking, yeah. Alright, well this is definitely getting there. There you go. So it is creating the... Yeah. Mm-hmm. I wonder why... Oh, right, because the radius isn't... If we go to items, weapons... Melee weapons, that one, this one. We go to radii. Instead of 0, let's do like 10 or something. Just to see if it actually gets put there. Yeah, it does. Okay, cool. So it does exist. That's great. Yeah, that tip trace. Now, one thing I just want to see if all of that lag is just from drawing all of the debug lines. Which I'm 90% sure it is. Item components, tech trace components. This one. Back to the... this one. Don't draw them. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it is just drawing them that's heavy. Because these are all... Yeah, you can see now I'm running into them and getting dealt 0 damage. Ow. But, that's cool. That is POG. Yeah. Okay, so it is super cheap. Now, the other thing is... I'll need to talk to Adam about it, but how do we assign all of the sounds and the hit data to the parts of the weapon? I mean, it's kind of like... kind of easy. Because all we need to do is say these, you know, traces. Well, we're not doing them anymore, but the traces that are you know, coming from here are going to be wood and the traces here are going to be metal, and then we can look up what the materials are made of and blah, 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 blah. Psychic, for sure. There is no publicly available demo at the moment. However, if you are a patron, you can get the very early combat test demo. But aside from that, unfortunately, you might just have to wait. Also, I'd love to show you some example of how the game plays, but currently I've broken everything, or I'm in the middle of breaking everything, so even if I could, you know, I can't actually attack anyone because we're redoing how the traces are all determined and that kind of stuff. Yeah, so you can see I'm just passing straight through him. Even though I would have got a sweet headshot there. But yeah. Anyway, the next thing on our list would be to item attack trace component, blah, 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 blah. So I guess when we... To do finish game? Exactly, exactly. What's that function? What's that function and what does it do? Hold on. Libraries, blueprint function, library. Pris mega surface hit data from hit. Oh no, that's just that one, isn't it? That doesn't actually say to do any of the... I wonder if these functions can like play sounds. Play sound like, okay. Can I spawn particle? I can. Well, fuck. Maybe I should just have a function in this blueprint function library that deals with all of the collision sounds. Because we have to do the collision sounds and particles from like a lot of different places. Doesn't make sense to keep redoing it. Oh, that's smart. SMRT. That's a good idea. I like that. I like that a lot. Because I can't think of any situation where two surfaces collide with one another and we wouldn't want to play a sound. Or spawn sparks. Although we can just have a tick box that says do the sound, do the particles. Yeah, fuck, that's a good idea. That would save a lot of code. Because then it would just be a matter of when, you know, a weapon or something hits the ground with the tip, we just need to say, okay, well, which part did it hit with? Look up the map for what does each trace correspond to, get that surface hit data, do the thing, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, that would actually be perfect. So we just input two surface datas, and then it will spawn all of the stuff itself. Nice. I like that. I like that. It's smart. It's smart. So why is that there? All right, I reckon I might wrap up the stream shortly. Because my brain is only half functioning. But I do have to lock up the chooks and feed these damn cats and hang out with the cats as well. That's important. However, I will probably keep working on this into the night because I'm quite awake. But we're gonna raid Sovereign, and I'm gonna keep watching Sov through the night. So let's see what he's up to. It looks like he's doing some Blender stuff. Hell yeah. I'm sure everyone in here already knows Sov. But yeah. Anyway, thanks everyone for hanging out. You can see down below, I know the bot's broken, so the commands don't work, but if you want to check out the YouTube channel, down below, there's heaps of tutorials about how to make games and stuff. Also devlogs about the game, what the game's about, and how the game plays. There's also a VODs channel if you want to watch any of the VODs with annotations and that kind of shit. They'll be on the VODs channel forever. And if you do want to support monetarily the development of the game and my staying alive fund, the best way to do so is through the Patreon, which is also linked below for as little as $1 per month. There's some nice like perks and shit that like coincide with the Discord and whatnot. Also the Discord is also linked below. So I guess with that, we say goodbye. A goodbye.